Mix. My name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesday again, and it's time for our final War of the Spark spoiler stream before the pre-release. Yep, pre-release is this weekend. Yep, Saturday and Sunday. Well, Friday if you live in London or anywhere else in England. But I think it's only in London where you can do pre-release on Fridays. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, so we're here and we're gonna talk about all of the PlanesWalker spoiled so far, excluding the PlanesWalker deck ones. If you can include the PlanesWalker deck ones, there's 39 PlanesWalkers. Alright, just 37 PlanesWalkers. And still no spoilers of Dak Faden, which isn't a plane. He's in Ravnica, but we don't know if it's gonna be a card. But I'm nearly 100% sure it will be a card. It might never get spoiled. Who knows? But yeah, here we will be talking about the new spoilers. So we'll start off with Jiang Yangu, the Wildcrafter, yeah? 3 mana, 3 loyalty, legendary Planeswalker Yangu. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has tap, add 1 mana of any color. Ooh, that's a good one, yeah. That's actually very good. -1 is to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. How about if you use this in Affinity Hardened Scales, but you're trying to finish off your opponent very quick. But if you use an Affinity Hardened Scales, then you'd be putting 2 +1/+1 counters to a -1 effect. And guess what? They're getting Paradise abilities, which is to tap to add 1 mana of any color. Yep, that's right. Add 1 mana of any color. And yeah. Very good. After that, we got Tibalt, Rakish Instigator, which is a 3 mana 5 loyalty Planeswalker, Tibalt. Well, it used to be actually 2 loyalty, like in the original printing of the card. Like it was, like, the original version of Tibalt was like 2 red for 2 loyalty Planeswalker, but this is time, but now it's 3 mana, 5 loyalty Planeswalker. Your opponents can't gain life. Oh, wow. That's a good one. -2, create a 1/1 devil. With when it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. This token is returning. It was in Innistrad, in Shadows over Innistrad. Yeah. And here it is. It's very good, actually. After that, we got Arlen, a Voice of the Pack. That's another Innistrad Planeswalker there. Well, I'm not sure if Arlen is actually from Innistrad, like Tibalt. I'm not sure if Tibalt is actually from Innistrad. I suppose they are, but Arlen, Voice of the Pack, it sits at a 7 loyalty legendary Planeswalker, Arlen. Each creature you control that's a wolf or a werewolf enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter. No flip abilities. This is, which is actually kind of weird. It doesn't flip, but if it had a flip effect, then it will be a rare Planeswalker, not an uncommon. Like, why would an uncommon Planeswalker flip? Anyway, why would there be uncommon Planeswalkers and rare Planeswalkers? The reason is, there are too many in this set. So they just had to make uncommon and rare Planeswalkers. Like, yeah, this is -2 to create a 2/2 wolf token. Yeah. It's good. These wolves are returning. We don't know if werewolves are returning. Like, if werewolves return, then that means Transform is returning. But so far, there are no transforming cards spoiled in the set. And no werewolves either, actually. Which is very weird, actually. Like, but you would be playing this in a modern or commander deck if werewolf tribal. Yeah. You could use a Rurik Tar deck, which is a werewolf tribal for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a werewolf tribal. The Ruriktar commander deck. But yeah, if you have a Ruriktar werewolf tribal commander deck, then put Arlen in it. When it's gonna get released, of course, yeah. The other Arlen has no synergy with wolves and werewolves. Which was from Innistrad, Shadows of Innistrad, yeah. After that, we got Jaya, Venerated Fire Mage. 5 mana, 5 royalty, legendary planeswalker Jaya. If another red source you control will deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage plus 1 to that player, permanent or player. Yep, that's right. I'm not sure if it's gonna be played in mono red burn standard though. What we know it's gonna see play in Commander, some standard decks, but yeah, it could, and -2 to deal 2 damage to any target. But it says another, not all, because that means that it's -2 does not become 3 damage since it isn't another. Yeah, I think it might actually replace the Flame of Keld, but the thing is that no one plays the Flame of Keld anymore in mono red burn. That's the thing. Yeah. It's that the Flame of Keld effect isn't really that good, because you start with discarding your hand, then you just draw 2 cards, and finally you just deal 2 extra damage with red spells and stuff. But not just that. Replacing Flame of Keld, we now got Light Up the Stage, Risk Factor, and the coffee thing. What was the name of it again? Oh yeah, Experimental Frenzy. Now I remember. Yeah. After that, we got Obnitzes, the Hate Twisted. Yep. It's another Obnitzes. There's way too many Obnitzes cards, actually, I think. Like, there was Obnitzes, the Fallen, I think it was called. Like, then it was the Obnitzes, yeah, the Commander Obnitzes. Then it was Obnitzes Unshackled, and then Obnitzes Reignited, and now Obnitzes the Hate Twisted. 5 mana, 5 loyalty, legendary planeswalker Nixilis. Whenever an opponent draws a card, it deals 1 damage to that player. Oh, look at this! Is that Underworld Dreams there? Oh wow. Looks like it is actually back. Underworld Dreams is actually back. It's Obnitzes and -2. Destroy target creature, its control draws 2 cards. You might think of its control draws 2 cards effect as a drawback, but with the Obnitzes ability, it might actually not be a drawback at all, because you're going to be dealing them 2 damage with their 2 cards drawn. But yeah, they get 2 extra cards though, which is a card disadvantage though. Like, even if you just simply destroy their creature, and then, oh look, they drew 2 cards, and so it's a 2-for-1, like, actually 1-for-2, like, or 2-for-1, yeah, because, yeah, Omnisis might not die because of the effect, because if it would be doing it for the last time, except if you somehow proliferate it, which, yeah, it's in the set, it will go to 1 when you do this, when it's the final time you use its ability. And yeah, like, it's gonna be a 2-for-1 effect, or sometimes 3-for-1, but you're dealing them 2 extra damage though. It might see play in Nekuzar decks, like, you have to do extra draw hate. Also, not just that, you can actually, 2 it hates Locust God decks. Like, it stops Locust God completely. Like, yeah. Good thing I'm now playing Haunt of Hightower instead of Locust God in Commander, but it doesn't really matter anyway. I'm sure there's lots of more Locust God Commander players there. After that, we got the Wanderer, a mysterious Planeswalker. It's a 4 mana, 5 loyalty legendary Planeswalker. Yep, no Planeswalker, no subtype. It's like the only Planeswalker without a subtype. Like, you might be thinking, why doesn't it say Wanderer or Unknown or at least 3 question marks though? Like it would be cool if like it says like 3 question marks is Planeswalker type, like, but they decided to leave it blank as it is. Prevent all non-combat damage that will be dealt to you and other permanents you control. Ruin's Burn. Interesting. -2. Exalt a creature of power 4 greater. Well, yeah, it is actually very good since it can actually kill 2 big stuff, and with proliferating the set, more actually. And it actually protects you from bolts. But the thing is that they use their bolt on the Wanderer because they just can't use it on anything else. Like, they can't use it on you, they can't use it on your creatures. Yeah, they can't use it on the creatures either. Not even on your Planeswalkers though. Except for the Wanderer. They can still just bolt the Wanderer. But yeah, the Wanderer could just strike something very big. After that, we got Narset, Parter of Veils. As soon as I saw this spoiler, I went like, oh look, Narset finally got spoiled. Wait, it's not white though. And wait, Partner of Veils? Like, that's what my wife saw at first. But then it actually said Parter of Veils, not Partner of Veils. Like, what veil? Chain Veil? I don't know. I thought it got destroyed already, the Chain Veil. After that, it's 3 mana, 5 loyalty, Planeswalker, Narset. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. That's the second Planeswalker spoiler that ruins the Locust God. Like, why are they hating on the Locust God now? Like, it was actually a commander deck that got released like nearly 2 years ago, actually. More than a year ago, like, and now they have to ruin the deck when we already made the when there's already Haunt of Hightower in the game. Like, I don't know. I think it's too late to hate the Locust God. Nekuzar is actually hating the Locust God way too early. Like, it was hating the Locust God before anything else. Like it was right before the set even got spoiled. Nekuzar even got released. It was a commander. Yeah, mine suits to look at top 4 cards of the library. You may reveal non-creature, non-land card from among them and put into your hand. Put the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. Hey, look at this! It's the new Search for Scanter! Yeah. You might see why, because, yeah, Search for Scanter, when it flips into a Scanter, you can pay 3 mana, tap, to actually look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal non-creature, non-land cards from among them and put in your hand. Put the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. But the thing is that, well, no, random order is Narset. Any order is Search for Scanter. Like, I'm not sure if it's gonna ruin the Search for Scanter, because the order doesn't really matter. You won't probably reach that state, or otherwise Nets of Fate will just shuffle it away. Because if you run Search for Scanter in a deck, unless if it's a mono blue tempo deck, you're probably running Nets of Fate as well. Not sure of the Haunt of Hightower. Like, the Haunt of Hightower, I've never seen a deck play that in Standard. I've never seen a standard Haunt of Hightower deck. Like, in previous Great Worm is actually, yeah, I thought it was underrated, but it's actually overrated. But it's actually bad. Like, I thought it was good, and everyone thought it was bad, but then I just realized it can actually be a bit bad because of the chump blocks. Although it doesn't die, though. It's actually in this, like, it's not a god and it's indestructible, but Iliar the Razeborn is a god and it can die. Well, it comes back, of course. Yeah, eventually it comes back. After that, we got the Wanderer. No, I was already spoiled. Never mind that. Next we got Vivienne, Champion of the Wilds. So Vivienne, it's a 3 mana 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker. Vivienne, you may cast creature spells as though they had flash. +1 until your next turn. Up to 1 toy creature gains vigilance and reach. Yeah. Until your next turn, because yeah, of course, you don't necessarily need reach on your own turn. You don't necessarily need trample on your own turn as well, of course. Yeah. You don't need reach on your own turn. You don't need trample on your opponent's turn. Yeah. Yeah. Meister, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Ixalan, one face down, put the rest onto the bottom of your library in any order. For as long as it remains Ixalan, you may look at that card and you may cast it if it's a creature card. Very good. Although you just can't spend the mana of any color. So you're not gonna make a mono green deck with Vivienne, but using 5 color cards or multicolored cards. Like, it doesn't work like that. It's when it says that, it's probably that because you're gonna be exiling an opponent's card, but Vivienne exiles your own cards, unfortunately. Like, you're not stealing anything. You're actually taking them. You're just getting them, not stealing them. After that, we got Sarkhan the Masterless. 5 mana, 5 loyalty legendary planeswalker Sarkhan. Wait. Is that Nif Mizzet? Or is that simply just a dragon that looks like Nif Mizzet? I don't know, but behind Sarkhan, is that Nif Mizzet? I don't know. But yeah. He has, whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature. I'm thinking, why the dragons will be dealing damage? You might be... The reason why? Lifelink. Or Death Touch, yeah. Death Touch and Lifelink. This actually matters. Like, if your dragon has Death Touch and or Lifelink, it could give you life. And or possibly destroy the creature as well. So, try attaching a Basilic Collar to one of your dragons. And then, guess what? Oh, look at this. You can't attack me anymore. And I'm actually getting a life for each creature attacking. Well, there is still a chance for them to attack. Because if they have indestructibles. Oh, look! Impervious Great Worm is back. Never mind. Yeah. It would still survive. But yeah, never mind. +1 until end of turn, each planeswalker you control becomes a 4/4 dragon and gains flying. Like, it doesn't say they're still planeswalkers. It doesn't prevent their damage. It doesn't make them indestructible, which is weird. Somehow. I don't know why, but yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, Sarkhan, I think it's like the second plane, the other planeswalker that can actually become or turn others into creatures. Like, Gideon is the main one. Like, Gideon always can turn into a creature. Sarkhan, there was one that could turn into a creature, but now he can turn himself and others into creatures. And -3 to create a 4/4 dragon, which will be dealing damage. Yeah, it would be protecting you. Of course, because if you just create the dragon, then 1 toughness creatures can't attack you. Then 2 dragons means 2 toughness creatures can't attack you. So that means goodbye Arclight Phoenix. 3 dragons means 3 toughness creatures can't attack you. I don't know. And 4 dragons, which might be too much, means 4 toughness creatures can't attack you. Goodbye Crackling Drake, goodbye Enigma Drake, which we didn't even see Enigma Drake in Standard. Of course. Yeah, I just realized recently that Enigma Drake had 4 toughness, not 3. But yeah, doesn't really matter, because it's not really a good card compared to Crackling Drake. After that we got Davrio, Rogue Shadow Mage. Yeah, his black fire is actually covering his own name, actually. 3 mana, 3 loyalty, legendary planeswalker, Davrio. Yeah. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, deals 2 damage to them. Yep. I think now they're replacing the him or her with them, actually. Like, not just that, but it's like basically like Shrieking Affliction is actually back, but weaker, more expensive in mana, and with a loyalty counted 3. -1, target player discards a card. Yeah. It's very good, actually. It helps you make sure your opponent reaches 1 or fewer cards in hand. Yeah. Totally wrecks Living End decks. Not sure though, because most discard effects are cycling. Yeah. Although some could actually be doesn't really matter. I just need to refresh just with water. But yeah, after that we got Kasmina, Enigmatic Mentor. It's a 4 mana, 5 loyalty, legendary planeswalker. Kasmina. Spells your opponents cast that target creature or planeswalker you control costs 2 more to cast. Oh great! Great combo with the Wanderer to actually beat burn decks. That, I think, Kasmina and the Wanderer both together would actually, the Wanderer. Like Kasmina and the Wanderer, yeah, they actually would combo very good together, actually. Because Kasmina would protect the Wanderer from bolts and basically just turning lightning bolt into open fire, and lightning helix into, what was the name of that Boros split card in Standard? Not the rare one, because there's like a rare one and an uncommon one. Like, I don't know. Let's just search the text on Gather. Never mind. But yeah, -2 is just create a 2/2 wizard and then loot. Yeah, The loot is just an extra part of it. But it's good, actually, the 2/2 wizard. It's very good, actually, to loot, because you might be discarding unnecessary cards and then getting others. Yeah. When the stained glass planeswalker arts got spoiled, then there were 2 unknown planeswalkers. That was Kasmina and the Wanderer. Like at the start, no one knew their names until they got spoiled, of course. Like, the arts on the planeswalkers actually are the arts on a stained glass, simply not on a stained glass. Of course, yeah. After that we got Teo, the Shield Mage. Yeah. It's a 3 mana, 5 loyalty legendary planeswalker. Teo with You Have Hexproof. Great. Great against burn. Excellent combo with the Wanderer. Again, yeah. Many planeswalkers in this set are comboing with the Wanderer to stop burn. Does that mean rest in peace burn decks? No, I'm not sure. -2, create a 0/3 wall token with Defender. No, wait a second. It doesn't really matter because, yeah. Well, yeah, they have to first take down the Wanderer and then take down Teo. So, yeah, they just have to somehow deal 10 damage. Yeah, before being able to deal damage to you. But you're probably doing their loyalty abilities, of course. But the thing is that they don't have +1s. So why would you unnecessarily use their -2s? Yeah. Yeah. The only token that got spoiled is a zombie army token, actually. After that we got Vraska, Swarm's Eminence. So 2 and 2 Golgari mana. Yeah. Hybrid mana, yeah. 5 loyalty legendary planeswalker Vraska. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a player planeswalker, put +1/+1 counter that creature. Great. Now your Death Touch creatures become vampires, because mainly the vampires from Innistrad had effects like when they deal combat damage to planeswalker you control. To player, they get a +1/+1 counter. But now, Vraska gives that ability to your creatures with Death Touch. Yeah. And -2 is to create a 1/1 assassin with Death Touch and Planeswalker Death Touch. You might be wondering what Planeswalker Death Touch. It's a simplified version of whenever this creature deals damage to a player to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. Like, it isn't an actual mechanic, but it would be cool if it was a mechanic called Planeswalker Death Touch. Like, there are cards with player Death Touch, but that's not really a thing. Yeah, but Planeswalker Death Touch would be much cooler though. Yeah. One shot a Planeswalker. Good one. After that we got Samut, Tyrant Smasher. It's a 2 and 2 Gruul mana. Actually anti-bonus because she isn't part of the Gruul clans. With 5 loyalty, yeah, Samut. Creatures you control have haste. -1, target creature gets +2/+1 and gains haste on turn of turn. Scry 1. And you might be wondering, haste again when they already have haste? Here's why. If somehow Samut would do its ability and Samut dies, therefore your creatures lose haste. No. Creatures can have multiple instances of haste. Therefore, what happens is that if Samut dies, they lose 1 instance of haste. But the creatures that have multiple instances of haste, they still have haste actually. So they can attack that turn. But haste is just simply a one turn. It just matters for one turn. Like after that it doesn't really matter because it makes ignore summoning sickness. And you scry one. Great. A great card. After that we go. No. Yeah, Saheeli, Sublime Artificer. Yeah. 1 and 2 is it mana. 5 loyalty, legendary PlanesWalker Saheeli. That's the third Saheeli card I'm making because there are Saheeli Ray, Saheeli the Gifted, and now Saheeli Sublime Artificer. Yeah. So we got whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 servo. Oh, great. Servo machine. Actually. -2, target artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature you control on turn of turn, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. Great! So it is actually a very good because it could actually simply turn your servo token into an Impervious Great Worm if you have one. And that means double Impervious Great Worm for one turn. Still. But 32 damage on the board for one turn could probably finish off your opponent unless if they have blockers. But if you give them Talents of Wildwood, they have Trample. Yep. Talents of Wildwood is actually helping the Impervious Great Worm because it gives it Trample and a +1/+1 as well. And Talents of Wildwood keeps on returning, like Rancor. After that, we got Nahiri, Storm of Stone. 2 and 2 Boros mana for a 6 loyalty legendary planeswalker Nahiri. As long as it's your turn, creatures you control have first strike and the equip abilities you activate cost 1 less to equip. My sets deals X damage to a tapped creature. Great. It is actually kind of great, the effect, because it's gonna be lots of removals, like Omnicidus, but yeah. Nahiri might be better at destroying the others than Omnicidus because it doesn't give card advantage to your opponents. And yeah, very good. It basically gives your creatures first strike as long as it's your turn and makes equipping easier. Yep, even legendary equip is actually makes it cheaper because legendary equip is an equip ability, although legendary equip has only been seen on one card, and that was Blackblade Reforged, and Gideon is using it as well. Yeah. Nahiri, you might be wondering, is she pro-bolus or anti-bolus? The answer is none. Like, Nahiri is actually fighting simply against Sorin. They just simply have a feud or something, and they just always fight against each other. It doesn't really matter if there's a threat to the entire multiverse that can stop their feud. Yeah. You might be thinking of single combat. That's right, that's the card that has that flavor text. And it's very true. They actually don't fight against nickel bowlers or for nickel bowlers. They fight their own fight. Yeah. It's like Orzhov, like except for Kaya though, but the Orzhov vampires actually don't really care if who wins or on what side are they on. They just really care about how much blood will actually be left after the fight, of course. They'll just have a because they're vampires, of course. Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. After that, we got Kaya, Bane of the Dead. Kaya is actually joining the Gatewatch now. Like, I thought Orzhov was gonna be pro Bolus, but actually Kaya is anti Bolus, but the rest of the Orzhov guild is actually on no one's side, though, because they just want the blood. They're just vampires. And it's 3 and 3 Orzhov mana for 7 loyalty. Legendary Planeswalker Kaya. Your opponents and permanents your opponents control with hexproof can be targets of spells and abilities you control as though they didn't have hexproof. I'm thinking, oh, it removes hexproof. No, it does not remove hexproof. If they have hexproof, they actually can't target each other still, if it's a multiplayer match, but you can still target them. It's simple. Yeah, and -3 it's auto creature. Removal machine as well. And yeah, it's very good because you can just, if you're playing lots of bolts and stuff, you actually can target them if they don't, because they don't have hexproof anymore. So it ruins turn 0 leyline, although it would be actually turn 6 though, but there's actually now standard cards that give you hexproof. So now Kaya's removing that hexproof. Detection Tower also removes hexproof. Yeah. But Detection Tower is just a new version of Arcane Lighthouse. Yeah. After that we got Huatli, the Sun's Heart. It's a 2 and 1 Celestian mana, 7 loyalty legendary planeswalker Huatli. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Oh look! That's actually better for the high alert wall decks, or simply the Arcades decks. Like, you know the deck, high alert or Arcades the strategist, like, because it simply makes, also there's this dinosaur that makes your creatures assign combat damage with its toughness rather than its power, and -3 is you gain life equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Actually, very good. We're just using the high toughness stuff and low power, and that becomes super strong. Like if you're playing Commander or Modern Worlds deck, that actually turns Fortified Rampart into a big thing for 2 mana. Although it doesn't remove their defender effect. Huatli doesn't do that. It's just, if you have to do stuff like that, you just use Arcades and High Alert. But if you're playing Arcades deck, you should also using a Bronto stuff like that. All of the card, as many ways as possible to make your stuff assign combat damage with its toughness rather than its power. But after that, we got Dovin, Hand of Control. It's a 2 and an Azorius mana, 5 loyalty legendary planeswalker Dovin, and artifact, instants, and sorcery spells your opponents cast cost 1 more to cast. Oh wow! Dovin is actually very good because you just stop their artifacts, instants, and sorceries. Oh look, that hates Affinity and Storm decks. Hates Affinity, hates Storm. But you'd probably use Thalia instead of Dovin if you're playing it in Modern. But otherwise you just use Dovin because it's better. And -1 is, until your next turn, prevent all damage that will be dealt to and dealt by target permanent and opponent controls. Oh look, it actually stops damage. Wow, that's actually good. But yeah, But you can only do it in opponent's stuff, so you just can't cloud form one of your own stuff for a turn. Just to have a super strong blocker, you'd probably instead just cloud form for one turn your opponent's big stuff. Yeah. And there's an army of Thopters behind Dovin. That we got Ashiok, the Dream Render. It's 1 and 2 Dimir mana, 5 loyalty, legendary planeswalker, Ashiok. Wait, is Ashiok pro bonus or anti bonus? I don't know, but I'm not sure if Ashiok is part of Dimir or not. But Ashiok is from Pharos, I think. But yeah, spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause their controller to search their library. Oh! That actually kicks out Leonin Arbiter from its job. Very funny, yeah. Because it actually stops the search of libraries and also lets you search libraries. And they just can't pay anything. When Leonin Arbiter just forces them to pay and yourself to pay as well. But yeah, -1. Yeah, it's a 5 loyalty. -1. Target player mills 4. Then it's now each opponent's graveyard. Whoa! It doesn't exile just the target player's graveyard. It actually exiles each opponent's graveyard. So if you're using a graveyard deck, you should try milling yourself with Ashiok. You don't be afraid of milling yourself because you think you're gonna exile your own cards with Ashiok. You just mill yourself and exile the graveyard, and then oh look, graveyard synergy and graveyard hate at the same time. But you're probably wanting to mill your opponent first instead because they're exiling. You're exiling their cards. Well done, Wizards. Well done for just making such a funny card. But yeah, never mind. After that we got Angraf, Captain of Chaos. Yeah. It's 2 and 2 Rakdos mana, 5 loyalty, legendary planeswalker, Angraf, creatures you control have menace. And -2 is to amass 2. Yeah. Yeah, amass. Looks like, yeah, Angraf is pro bonus because he amasses. Which, yeah, it's just the only new mechanic because there's like 3 returning, but yeah. Actually, yeah. I decided myself that zombie army token, although it did get spoiled. Yeah. You like it? The zombie army token? Yeah. I forgot to put a power of toughness to it, but it says 0/0. It doesn't really matter much. But yeah. It's actually the only planeswalker that amasses in this set. And in general, the only planeswalker that can do the amass mechanic. After that we got Tamiyo, Collector of Tales. Yeah. 2 and 1 green and 1 blue, 5 loyalty, legendary planeswalker. Tamiyo. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause you to discard cards or sacrifice permanents. Oh, look. That actually hates the rack deck. First one, choose a non-land card name, then reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all cards with the chosen name from among them to hand and rest into your graveyard. Good if you're playing graveyard decks. If you're playing graveyard decks, then you just name something you don't have in the deck. Say for example, Black Lotus, and then you just mill 4 to yourself. But you'd probably want to just try play this in a Persistent Petitioner's deck, and therefore you're just drawing 4 cards for +1 effect. You should just go like, well, not really, because you could just hit land. You go like, +1, I name Persistent Petitioners, reveal top 4. Oh look, 3 Persistent Petitioners and an island. Fine, I discard the island, which I didn't really need anyway, and I take 3 Persistent Petitioners to hand. I play 2 of them. And And if you're playing, and probably I'd have already 3 on the battlefield. So I play 2, and then just tap 4, mill 12. And yeah, that's probably to me. When you're gonna play Tamiya standard, -3, return target card from your graveyard to hand. Yeah, those cards you're discarding, they can be taken back as well with Tamiya. That's good. Take back the island you just discarded, you just need it though, but I don't know. After that we got Teferi, Time Raveler. Like, you have to be thinking, why doesn't it say Time Traveler? It's not the same thing. It's actually Time Raveler, not Time Traveler. Yeah. Like, it's one white and 1 blue. 4 loyalty legendary PlanesWalker Teferi. And as each opponent can cast spells only anytime they could cast a sorcery. Yeah. Removes instants, removes flash. Yeah. Stops the Snapcaster mages, and +1 until your next turn. You may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. Oh look! You make their instants sorceries, and now you make your sorceries instants. Never mind, yeah. Strategy got -3. Return up to 1 target in artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand and draw a card. Very good. You just slow down something and then you draw a card. Great thing. Card removal or just repeat ETB and card advantage. That's the 2 properties of the Teferi's -3 effect. Very good. After that we got Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord. And it's 2, a white and a black, 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker Sorin. And as long as it's your turn, creatures and planeswalkers you control have lifelink. Yeah, gives your planeswalkers and creatures lifelink. +2, deals 1 damage to a player planeswalker. You gain a life, of course. Well, that's unless if you're using the Commander Teferi's emblem. And that means you're just using it on your opponent's turn, and you don't gain life off that. But yeah, -8. Return target creature card of CMC 8 from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature is a vampire in addition to its other types. Very good. Actually brings back, you could actually 0 it and just bring back something that costs 0 mana. Say for example, Memnite, or Ornithopter, or Fire-Red Walker. Although Fire-Red Walker is not in standard, none of those cards are standard. Like, whoa, Ornithopter rotated September 2018, but that means it's not standard though. Yeah, Memnite and Fire-Red Walker were just old cards, older cards. Not well, Fire-Red Walker was an old card. Memnite was just simply from Mirodin. Yeah. But it doesn't really matter. After that, we got Row, Storm Conduit. It's 2, a blue and a red, 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker Row. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or a sorcery spell, Row, Storm Conduit deals 1 damage to an opponent or planeswalker. I think Row is basically like the shortest planeswalker subtype. Like, Ob-Nixilis isn't simply Ob, it's just Nixilis instead. For some apparent reason, Nicol Bolas is actually Bolas, not Nicol, for some reason. Yeah. It's weird, though. But Row Zarek is actually simply Row, not Zarek. Although it would be cooler if it was Zarek, not Row, but it's too late to change it. But whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Row, Storm Conduit deals 1 damage to our opponent or planeswalker. Hold on a second. that actually makes storming easier now, because you just go like great combo with 1000-Year Storm, and also Nif Mizzet for dealing much extra damage. Like, you just go like, fine, start with Pyretic Ritual, deal 1 damage to opponent. That's Storm count 1, they're at 19. And you just go like Desperate Ritual, deal 1 damage to opponent. Storm count 2, they're at 18. Manamorphose, just make a red and blue, that's Storm count 3, they're at 17, draw a card. Gifts Ungiven, or no, first, no, then Pyretic Ritual. Yeah, well, you have now 4. It's 4 mana. That's Storm count. That's Storm count 4, and you have 4 mana. 5 mana. Your opponent's at 16. Then yeah, Storm count 5. You have 5 mana, and your opponent's at 15. Yeah. Then you just Gift Ungiven. You'd probably want a Baral if you're doing it. Let's just change the situation. Pyretic Ritual. Yeah. This is turn 5, for example. You have 4 lands left. Yeah. And you have 3 mana. Storm count 1. Your opponent is at 19. Say your opponent hasn't shocked or fetched anything in the match, which is kinda unlikely in Modern, but yeah. They're 19. Second, just a Pyretic or Desperate Ritual. They're at 80, that's 5 mana on your pool. Storm count 3. They're at 17, you just cast Manamorphose, yeah? And you add a blue. Red and blue. So yeah, you have 6 mana on your pool, you draw a card. And oh look, it's the Gifts Ungiven. You play Gifts Ungiven. They're at 16. You have 3 mana left in your pool, and you just search for 4 cards with different names, and you just say for example, Grape Shot, Past in Flames, Pyretic, and Desperate Ritual. That's what you should choose, or you could replace Pyretic Ritual with Manamorphose if you want. Opponent, I think your opponent will choose like Grape Shot and Manamorphose to Graveyard, or Desperate and Grape Shot to Graveyard, or Grape Shot and Past in Flames to Graveyard if you chose Pyretic Ritual instead of Manamorphose, and then Desperate Ritual and Pyretic Ritual, or Desperate Ritual and Past in Flames goes to your hand. That's Storm count 4 there. Storm count 5. There's 15. You just cast Pyretic Ritual. No, or yeah, Desperate Ritual or Pyretic Ritual, yeah. You're at 5 mana. They're at 15. Then you just Storm count 6, you just play the other one, or you just flashback Past in Flames, or cast Past in Flames actually. So your opponent's at 14 either way, but depending on what happens, you might actually either have just 1 mana left or 2 mana left in the pool. And yeah, then after that you just go Pyretic Ritual. They're at 13. That's Storm count 7. And yeah, Storm count 7. They are at 13. And yeah, you have 4 or 3 mana in your pool, and end it with Grape Shot for Grape Shot. That will be Storm count 8. Grape Shot for 16 damage. Congratulations. You have successfully stormed with 8 spells with Royale Storm Conduit, which wouldn't be likely in Modern. Yeah, it's too late, I think. You're probably using Storm in Modern. Yeah. But +2 is to Scry 1. Simple as that. Scry 1. I just want to explain how copying an instant as well as casting it could actually deal extra damage. Like if you cast a copy, it doesn't deal 2 damage. No, like say for example, Isochron Scepter. Isochron Scepter casts a copy of the spell, so that does not deal 2 damage. But yeah, -2 is whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell, may choose new targets for the copy. Okay, yeah. Now there's the copying effect in action. So you just deal 2 damage. Or do your -2. But yeah, that's Royale Storm Conduit for you. After that, we got Domri, Anarch of Bolas. Yeah, it's a 3 mana, 3 loyalty, legendary planeswalker Domri with creatures you control get +1/+0. Okay, that's another card that ruins Orcish or Flam, yeah. But doesn't really matter, yeah, anymore. +1, add red or green. Creature spells you cast this turn can't be countered. Oh, look, that's great against control decks. Yeah, that's could actually be replacing a River of the Wild. Well, River of the Wild gives your stuff read, which could give it haste or +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah. And yeah, it adds red or green, like the other Domri could. It adds red or green, but rather than making the creature spell you cast with this mana read, like because the other one says if you spend this mana on a creature, it gains read. Well, this one instead gives all of your creature spells this turn can't be countered. Yeah. Or uncounterable. Yeah. Not just the creature you spend the mana on. You could actually spend it on a bolt or something, or a bolt or giant growth, but your creature will not be countered this turn. And -2, target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Great. Removals, actually. Lifelink triggers. Death touch effects. Yeah. It's very good. Actually. After that we got Ajani, the Great-Hearted. It's 2, 1 green and 1 white, 5 loyalty legendary planeswalker Ajani, also part of the Gatewatch like Teferi. Yeah. Creatures you control have vigilance. Yep, vigilance it is. That's right. +1, you gain 3 life. Oh, that's life gain. Instant life gain, yeah. -2, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control and a loyalty counter on each other planeswalker you control. Oh wow, that is actually good in the Super Friends Commander deck. Also, yeah, which also uses +1/+1 counters on your creatures. Great for to enable proliferation effects. Whoa, not really exactly, but makes proliferation effects better though. And yeah, also not just that, but yeah, it will be great in the Planeswalker weekend, which everyone will be playing Super Friends, because yeah, you will be able to use any color for Planeswalker spells during Planeswalker weekend in the Store Championship and in the draft. You might be thinking, oh look, in Store Championship I'm gonna be building a new standard deck with 25 Planeswalkers. It's not standard. This time, for the first time ever, Wizards will be making a Store Championship sealed on every MTG store on Friday. On Friday, 1 month after the release of the set, or less I think, I'm not sure, but yeah. After the release of the set, in some weekend, there will be the PlanesWalker weekend, which is basically like Ravnica weekend, but it's called PlanesWalker weekend and replaces the store championship with from standard to sealed. It's still store championship. There's still the Ravnica weekend lands, also PlanesWalker weekend and store championship promo, and yeah, like the store championship promos are now Ravnica weekend / PlanesWalker weekend promos actually, and yeah, doesn't really matter. And yeah, still on Saturday is just 4 boosters draft, yeah, which also gives you a promo. But yeah, on the weekend of the release of the set, there's draft weekend. Do not confuse draft weekend with Ravnica weekend. Which yeah, Ravnica weekend and draft weekend are not the same thing. Although in Ravnica weekend there are drafts, which is a 4 boosters draft, which you don't usually see 4 boosters draft. Like 4 boosters drafts are only seen when it's in Ixalan during the dinosaur drafts, which I don't know why were they called dinosaur drafts. Like you didn't even have to play dinosaurs in the deck. You didn't even have to draft dinosaurs. Like I played a dinosaur draft and I drafted merfolks instead of dinosaurs. I actually don't know why I drafted merfolks and not dinosaurs. But yeah. And now they're actually Ravnica weekend 4 boosters draft. And now PlanesWalker weekend 4 boosters draft. But it doesn't really matter. This is just... After that we got Ugin, the Ineffable. Yeah. It's a 6 mana 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker Ugin. I think he's gonna be anti-Bolus to take his revenge, of course, because Bolus killed Ugin, and now that's why he's a spirit dragon. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. And it's one of the 2 colorless planeswalkers in the game. Yeah, 4 royalty. Color spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Oh, interesting. That's great for that is actually great for Eldrazi decks or artifact decks. But now in this set, there's gonna be the second non-Eldrazi, non-artifact, colorless creature. I'm not sure if there's others, but yeah. I think it's the second colorless, non-artifact, non-Eldrazi creature. Yeah. +1, it's out the top card of your library face down. And look at it. Create a 2/2 colorless bird creature token. When that token leaves the battlefield, put the exile card into your hand. Oh, that's great. Card advantage when the token dies, and token creation. And -3 is destroy target permanent that's 1 or more colors. Yeah, which it's very likely for it to not destroy lands, unless if it's a Dried Arbor, of course, which is the only colored land in the game. Because its color indicator is green. Why did they have to make it green? It's a land, it shouldn't have a color. But never mind. Wizards decided to make it like that. So they made it like that. Back in Future Sight. Which was a very cool set, though. I just saw the cards were very cool, but I didn't actually play or open a pack of Future Sight. I did open a pack of Planar Chaos, and I know in Planar Chaos there's the worst card in the game. If you want to just find out what it is, just check out one of my other podcast videos. The worst cards in the game, yeah. Doesn't really matter, but yeah, after that we got Bolus, the Dragon God. It's 1 blue, 3 black, 1 red, 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker Bolus, and it has all loyalty abilities of all other planeswalkers on the battlefield. Yep, that's right. The universal Planeswalker effect. Yeah, +1. You draw a card. Each opponent draws a card from their hand or a permanent they control. -3, destroy target creature or Planeswalker. More removal Planeswalkers there. -8, each opponent who doesn't control legendary creature or Planeswalker loses the game. Whoa. Hold on a second. Ugin could actually one-shot Nicol Bolas since the start. Did anyone ever realize about Ugin? He could actually one-shot Nicol Bolas with its -3 effect. Why make this effort for nothing when Ugin can actually smash Nicol Bolas with one punch? That's unless if Ugin, which, would be pro-Bolas. But the odds of Ugin being pro-Bolas and not anti-Bolas is actually 1 in 7 squintillion. Yeah. Not sure if that's even a real number, but yeah. The odds are very small that Ugin is pro-Bolas. But yeah. Doesn't really matter. And yeah. Because the -8 effect probably your opponent won't lose to this effect. Like in Commander, it basically uses the -8. Standard, because of the new Wolf Spark and Dominaria, it would be a bit useless. And in Sealed, not really. Much less in Planeswalker Weekend, which in Planeswalker Weekend there's going to be much more Planeswalkers than before because everyone will be running their Planeswalkers in the decks no matter what their colors are, because they just can spend mana as though if it were mana of any color to cast Planeswalker spells in Planeswalker Weekend. And Nicol Bolas will have much more abilities, not just those 3, much more because of its body ability. After that we got Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. It's a 4/1 blue, 1 black, 5 loyalty legendary Planeswalker Tezzeret. And yeah, currently the only card spoiled with the Affinity for artifacts. Like it gives creatures and Planeswalker spells you cast Affinity for artifacts. Like Affinity for artifacts is a better version of Improvise, the original version of Improvise, because you don't have to tap your artifacts. It's actually, for each artifact you control, it costs 1 less. So Improvise is more like a combination between Convoke and Affinity for artifacts. But the thing is that Affinity for artifacts, like Improvise, you just have to tap your artifact and that pays for the spell. Yeah, but it doesn't also pay for its colors. Like, what happens if you have colored artifacts? Say, for example, Parhelion II. Or Parhelion Mark II, whatever. It just says Parhelion and 2. Like, is it like Parhelion II? Parhelion Mark II? I don't know. Most probably Parhelion Mark II. I don't know. But yeah. +2 deals edge damage to each opponent, where edge is the number of artifacts you control. You gain edge life. Yeah, that's right. That's life gain in an artifact deck. Yeah. Which is cool. Yeah. That's life gain. And -3. Return to an artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, artifact retrieval. That's great. Although you'd probably be using Academy Brewers if you're playing in Modern or Commander. But otherwise you just use Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. And -8, it's out the top 10 cards of your library. Put all artifact cards from among them onto the battlefield. And the other cards stay in exile, of course, yeah. It won't just send them to a graveyard or to the bottom of your library in a random order. You just bring lots of artifacts. So you probably, if you're playing a purely artifact deck, you're probably not not leaving anything behind. Like if there's a Mikros and Flatus in the battlefield, unless if there's instants and sorceries, all cards will be going to battlefield, because cards outside the game are they artifacts or are they colorless? Never mind. I don't know. I think they're artifacts if the cards are outside the battlefield, not outside the game, but outside the battlefield. That's what I meant. Yeah, doesn't really matter though, because you're not gonna play Tezzeret in modern but yeah, you would see playing Commander because of Mikros and Flatus is played in Commander, not in modern though. Yeah, it's too expensive for modern. After that we got Karn, the Great Creator. That's the second colorless Planeswalker in the game. Well, there are many Karn and Ugin printings, of course, but as in the Planeswalker lore, the only one of the two colorless Planeswalkers. But yeah, 4 mana, 5 loyalty, legendary Planeswalker Karn with activated abilities of artifacts your opponents control can't be activated. Oh look, Stony Silence in any color. That's great. That's right. Stony Silence for all colors. Yeah. We are using just a mono red deck. And it's also going to be in standard. So Stony Silence in standard. In any color. Just a bit more expensive. With loyalty abilities, Planeswalker, not an enchantment, not an artifact. Which is weird, like, why did Karn stop being an artifact? Like, why couldn't they just make artifact Planeswalkers? Like, Karn Liberated is not an artifact. Karn, the Dominaria Karn isn't an artifact. Now the new Karn the Great Creator, isn't an artifact. In -2, you may choose an artifact card you own from outside the game, or exile, reveal that card, and put it in your hand. Like, have you ever wondered how did Karn become a Planeswalker? I'm not sure if he actually had a Planeswalker spark. I think it was just simply because, yeah, Urza created Karn, and you know, yeah, how Urza designed Karn was just simply he used some sort of steel that could safely travel from one plane to another without breaking itself or anything, and that's why Karn is a Planeswalker. Well, originally Karn was simply just Karn Steel Golem, a legendary creature, but there were actually many old Planeswalkers, but they were creatures because that was before Lorwyn. Yeah, because Lorwyn was when the first Planeswalkers got released, and they were rare. That was before Mythic came out, and then after that, Mythic Planeswalker. All Planeswalkers were Mythic. Yeah, +1 until your next turn. Up to 1 target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness each equal to its converted mana cost. Yeah. That's great. It's actually animating one of your artifacts for 1 turn for +1. -2, you may choose an artifact card you own from outside the game, or exile, reveal that card, and put it into your hand. Yep, that's right. It's outside of the game help. It will see play in dual standard format. Like, if you don't know what dual standard is, it's kind of a complicated version of standard. Well, yeah. Basically, each player needs 2 standard decks, not 1, 2 standard decks. Probably the worst format ever. Yeah, it's dual standard. Like, it's mainly competitive, like vintage. Like it's one of the most competitive formats ever. Dual standard, basically. So in the first match, it's best of 3. There's no sideboarding, although you could create a 15 card sideboard. This is where cards -2 effect takes place. So in the first game, you choose one of your decks, and your opponent also chooses, and then you play the match with this deck. That's gonna be the play, yeah. Then after that, yeah, you choose randomly who goes first, yeah, and then there's the match. Then after game 1, the other player goes first. It's not like the loser chooses who goes first. Like it's first one player, then the other, and you swap decks. Well, like you swap deck, then you just play again. And then if the match is over, then if the same player wins again, well, that's it. But somehow if it goes on to game 3, then each player can choose one of their decks, and the first player is chosen randomly. Yep. Once again, yeah. It's very complicated, but it's actually a really bad format. Although I am not very good at sideboarding either. Like it would be good a format without sideboard. Although you could create a sideboard for Karn abilities or Mastermind's acquisition, which they can actually take cards from outside the game or exile to hand. Yeah. If you're playing a Karn deck, like you probably build a 15 artifact sideboard. Like very good. That would counter other stuff. But if you're using Mastermind's acquisition, you just put a range of different stuff in your sideboard to then take with Mastermind's acquisition whenever necessary. Yeah, you could actually if you were to play dual standard, it doesn't matter if the two deck. It doesn't really matter if the two decks are the same or different. Like you can actually submit the same deck twice. That's right. You can submit the same deck twice as long as you can actually duplicate it. Like I'm not sure if I can actually duplicate my mono red burn deck in standard. If I'm probably gonna play dual standard ever, I'm actually gonna be doing mono red and mono blue. Yeah. Although I think I just have 2 standard decks. So if me and my dad would like to play in a dual standard event, then we'll just need 2 extra standard decks. Like I'm not sure what to build. What standard decks should I build? Should I build a mono white weenie or a Jeskai control deck? Yeah, white weenie for sure. Not sure if a Jeskai control deck would be good, or mono green Stompy. Yeah, but mono white weenie for sure. Mono green Stompy, I'm not sure. Would be cool, but the thing is that mono green Stompy does not use the Impervious Great Worm because you'd prefer using Galta instead because it has trample, although it is and it's easier to cast. After that we got Chandra, Fire Artisan, part of the Gatewatch, the original Gatewatch. PlanesWalker, it's a 2 and 2 red, 4 loyalty, legendary PlanesWalker Chandra, with whenever 1 or more loyalty counters are removed from Chandra Fire Artisan, she deals that much damage to her opponent or PlanesWalker. Yep, that's right. Your opponent will probably not want to attack Chandra because, it's gonna Chandra will just hit them back, and Chandra doesn't really have good Planeswalker abilities. Like its +1 is it's out of top card of your library. You may play it this turn, just this turn, not the next turn. It would be good, like in mono red burn decks because for late game you just need to exile cards from the top of your library to just then cast more. It's gonna see play in burn, of course, and also its triggered ability is actually useful as well in a burn deck. Not just that, but the -7 is basically it's our top 7 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. That would be very good if you have lots of mana. But either way, you would be casting some stuff, playing your land, of course, but you're very likely going to find them there. And deal 7 damage to your opponent. Do not forget that. You deal 7 damage to the opponent for using the -7 effect. You notice that? It's not when Chandra takes damage, it's when loyalty counters are removed from Chandra. So -7 would affect as well. It's very good. Don't you see the power? Oh, now you see the power. This one we got Liliana, Dreadhorde General. It's a 4 in 2 black, 6 loyalty, legendary Planeswalker, Liliana, whatever. A creature you control dies, draw a card. +1, create a 2/2 zombie token. -4, each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Including you. Yeah. But your opponents as well. And you're probably creating the zombie tokens. Liliana is also part of the Gatewatch, but under Nicol Bolas's clutches. But then she just betrays Nicol Bolas and just turns the Dreadhorde against Nicol Bolas. Yeah. And -9 is each opponent chooses a permanent they control each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. So it's like Cataclysm or Cataclysmic Gearhulk, but also lands and doesn't affect you. That's the great thing of Liliana's -9 effect. Yeah. It's very good, actually. But yeah, after that we got Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Oh, I just realized I forgot to add Nisa to the spoilers, which is kind of weird. I don't know how did I forget Nisa in the spoiler. So yeah, there's actually 40 Planeswalkers in the set, not 39. Well, 40, yeah, 40 because you're counting the Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers, but otherwise it's 38. Like 38 different Planeswalkers, like because the Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers are basically Jason Gideon, different versions. Mu Yanling is not in the set, unfortunately. Mu Yanling is not in Ravnica, actually. Dak Faden will soon be spoiled, I think. Or otherwise will just simply be in Ravnica in the story, but not in the set. Or it might actually never get spoiled and be in the main set as well. Like, I think they don't do book promos anymore, but if they make book promos, which would be cool, Dak Faden might be it. But Dak Faden dies in the set. In Ravnica, unfortunately. An Eternal kills Dak Faden. You can see that in the War of the Spark trailer. And the music is cool as well. But yeah, 1 and 3 blue for a 4 loyalty legendary Planeswalker Jace with a Labomaniac effect. Because yeah, if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Win con there. +1. Target player mills to draw a card. And you know what that means? Fort Scour on a stick. Yeah. That's right. It's a Fort Scour on a stick. Literally, it just Fort Scours every turn, unless you're just going to do its -8 effect, which you draw 7 cards. Then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. Great. That's another win con in Jace. I think that's the first ever Jace I've seen with 2 win cons printed on the card. It's not printed yet, but yeah. It will soon be printed. And the final Planeswalker is actually Gideon Blackblade. Yep, Gideon Blackblade is 1 and 2 white. 4 loyalty legendary Planeswalker. Gideon, with as long as it's your turn. He's a 4/4 human soldier creature with indestructible, it's still Planeswalker. And prevent all damage that will be dealt to Gideon Blackblade during your turn. Very good. Very good with... Never mind. Yeah, +1, up to 1 other target creature you control gains the choice of Visions, Lifelink, or Indestructible until end of turn. Yeah. And -6 is out to a non-land permanent. Yep, finally Gideon from the main set got spoiled, because mainly it was just simply Gideon from the Mythics, from the Mythic edition, actually. But there we go. Gideon is Mythic in the set. He's one of the 6 Mythic Planeswalkers in the set. Yep, there's actually 6 Mythic Planeswalkers. 3 in the main set, and 3 in just different, because yeah, Gideon is just Mythic, main set. Also, Liliana is Mythic. Nicol Bolas is Mythic. Tezzeret is Firewatch promo Mythic. And the Planeswalker deck Jace and Planeswalker deck Gideon are Mythic as well. And I'm not spoiling those. But if you want to but it's time for a sneak peek onto the new mechanics effect. It's except for the Planeswalkers, yeah, which was the whole spoilers podcast about the Planeswalkers. But let's do a sneak peek. We got a mass, a mass N. Simply a new mechanic, which basically you put N +1/+1 counters on an army you control. If you don't control one, create a 0/0 zombie army token first, and then put the +1/+1 counters on it. Yeah, that's right. A new creature type called Army. Yeah, which is just going to be a token in set. But there are ways to control multiple army tokens. So, for example, you just copy it. Say, for example, Spark Double. Or if you have changeling creatures, like non-token armies, like say for example cards with changeling or Mistform Ultimus, then they are armies now. They're now starting from, I'm not sure when, but yeah, right before the pre-release, they are now armies. You might be going like, oh look, Mistform Ultimus is actually 1,000 illusions, not 1,000. Yeah, just say for example, an army has 1,000 zombie troops or something. But yeah, in MTG, a zombie army, yeah, which will be lots then, but still, and growing as well. But yeah, Mistform Ultimus is an army. Mirror Entity is an army because yeah, he just mirrors himself. Taurian Molder becomes an army, like an army of Taurian Molders, which grows much easier now. But yeah, doesn't really matter. Next mechanic we got Proliferate. Proliferate, it's simply just choose any number of friends and or players, then give each another counter of each kind already there. It's a returning mechanic. You might have seen it in the Phyrexia set. Also, Atraxa had a Proliferate effect, which was just a commander from 2016. But yeah, that's simply Proliferate. And vehicles. vehicles. It's just an artifact which has a power and toughness, but can only attack if you crew it, and when you crew it, it becomes an artifact creature, and while it's an artifact creature, it can attack and block as normal. But you have to crew it with crew N. Say, for example, Parhelion Mark II, or yeah, I think it's Mark II, has a crew of 4, so you need to tap any number of creatures with total power 4 or more, and it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Yep, that's right. And so you can attack and or block with it. Well, you can't just attack and block in the same turn. Since it has vigilance, you could in your turn just attack with it, and then in the opponent's turn to just block, you just tap the 4 toughness and you block with Parhelion Mark II. But that's the end of the sneak peek and the spoilers. So yeah, type in the top chat, live chat, stream chat, or in the comments which of these cards did you like the most, and are you excited for the new War of the Spark set? Yep. How many pre-releases will you do in War of the Spark? Yep, that's right. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Stay tuned to my like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, and stay tuned to my next video, streams, and podcasts. And the podcast will be live every Tuesday, so stay tuned to them, like that one. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye.
Beautiful.